What's up, everyone? It's Mohammed, your commissioner. Welcome to another weekly recap. Let's get the ball rolling here and enjoy. Let's see what happened this week in FLoSH. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, everyone. Welcome to another FLoSH recap going into week 8 now. Crazy to think that we're just about halfway there, folks. A lot of things are starting to show. You got the good teams shining, maybe some fake teams out there. Let's get into it. Before I got into our recap, just want to go over some trades. This is like the first year in history where, you know, we've seen some serious trades going on. I'd like to hear everyone's comments on them, on who's winning trades, who's losing trades. I'm just going to go over a few. We had our first monster trade of FLoSH coming from the Feelers and MVP Barkley. MVP and Barkley, aka me, gave up Judkins, Brenton Strange, and Jalen Waddle for Brock Bowers and Troy Franklin. Who do you guys think won that trade? I think I know who won that trade. It was fucking Christian. He bent me over, showed me the 50 states, walked away with an RB1, and who's apparently a wide receiver 1 in Jalen Waddle. I would love to have those two guys back in the worst way. Brock Bowers hasn't fucking played since we made that trade. Bad one. On to our next one. Mark Andrews for Ladd McConkey. Also Christian Ward on this trade. It looks like Christian trades for Brock Bowers. Mike Gazzoni gets Ladd McConkey. I think there's one true winner in that trade, and it's the Ladd McConkey side there. Gets some picking up a pretty good wide receiver right now. He's really shining, and, well, Mark Andrews is not. On to a trade that happened last week. We had Jamar Chase being shipped out of Jackson, all these TDs, for Derrick Henry and Jordan Addison. Addison, pretty good start to the season since he's been back. Derrick Henry picking him up. Looks like he's kind of back on track, and then shipping off Jamar Chase. I think this is one of those trades that's a little too soon to tell right now. We'll see what happens down the stretch here. I think so far it's looking pretty even. And then we've got, just realized you're fucking jerking, aren't you? You're a sick fuck, Baldwin. Anyways, we've got our latest trade going between the Feelers again and Martin. We've got Tet being traded for Bill CM. We'll see what happens there. Bill CM putting up an ugly few weeks. Maybe this was a great, buy low opportunity. Maybe it was, a good buy low opportunity on Tet. Anyways, we will hop right into our scoreboard for week 8. As always, bottom to top. We've got maybe our toilet bowl matchup of the week between Dirty Mike and Zach Munski, who have both had a pretty bad start to the season here. For Mike Gazzoni, went well. RJ Harvey having his breakout game potentially, racking up 3 touchdowns there. Great game. Ladd McConkey, just talked about that trade, proven to be really good for you. And then, Goddard and Odunze, great games from those two, as well as Justin Jefferson. He's been serviceable, not the wide receiver one you drafted, but, anything more than 10 is okay. We'd like to see him in the 20s soon, but I think that's coming. Bench, nothing crazy there. And then for Zach Munski, goose egg from London. I don't think he played this week, so that certainly cost you, even though there's really not much else you could have put in there that would have helped. I'll give you a pass this time. But your team's looking promising with Daniel Jones, showing he can be a real good quarterback, even in a fantasy standpoint. And then running a 2 tight end set with Gadsden and Kittle. Two of the best tight ends in the league. We'll see how that pans out. Maybe you don't need a receiver. All right, Dirty. Congrats on your first win of the season. Next, we have an absolute stinker by Christian's team against Team Skiz, who improves to 6-2. His team's looking good. Coming off a great performance from Jalen Hurts, an absolute pop-off game from Breece Hall, and then Travis Kelce having a real good week there for himself. Sucks to see Scadaboo injured. Yeah, what can you do, Skiz? Don't just bend, don't break. You got David Montgomery still. As for Christian, I think everything bad could have possibly happened for Christian here. Yeah, the Bill CM not looking good. Judkins getting injured, and then a Johnson goose egg Waddle. There's my guy. What can you do? Bad trade for me. On to the next one. Zach Baldwin improving to 6-2, taking down Martin Peace for Baldwin. Seems like everything went well. Flacco still got it. He's still shelling out 24 fantasy points, coming off great games from your running backs. as well as another solid game from Pittman. He's looking like a really good late pickup this year. DeAndre Swift was a sneaky good game, as well as the Bucks really just giving it to Martin this week. For Martin, Kamara, not looking too good. I think the Saints in general look terrible, and even you would think he'd be more involved in the passing game, but that's just not happening. And then Ted McMillan putting up a good game, as well as Jamar Chase. Yeah, that's about really it there. Just kind of a clobbering. On to RIP D. Lee, improving to 7-1 in his rookie campaign. This league has proven to be easy for him. Let's change that up a little bit. Taking down the gay kickers for fair and what went right. That late round draft pick for Drake May has really proven to be really good for him this year. CeeDee Lamb as well as Achane having good games, and then Rashee Rice coming back. He has been a stud. Just over 20 points his last 2 games, and I think he was over 20 even last season before his injury and then his multiple felonies. Anyways, for a quick highlight on Mike Strumpfer's team, Bo Nix, doing the absolute best he can, just not much help from anyone else, and a rare bad game from Bijan as well. Wow, holy matchup. This might be one of the closest ones we had in history. Simone taking down Brian in a crucial middle of the table matchup. Coming off a massive game of James Herbert, and then the Cook show there in Buffalo, or they're in, forgetting who they played. Oh, they're in Carolina last week, running for 200 yards. What a game. And then also Shakir as well. Great compliment. The flex there, awesome lineup he put out there. Taking down Brian Verbickus, who's kind of been on a run here. Patrick Mahomes trying his absolute best, and then Kimani Vidal, Smith, and then Tucker were the stars of the show there, but it was not enough. Simone Lebecki manhandles him and wins by .22, the closest margin of victory that we may have had in league history. On to another close one. Tom Hagen improving to 7-1. This guy's looking unbeatable right now against my current not so fun team. We've got Tom Hagen with an absolute dud from Baker and McCaffrey. I will not get this lucky again the rest of the season. I had a true chance against him. Jonathan Taylor, even with 37 points, came down to the absolute wire, the absolute last game, and Bucker just butt-fucked it away. Even off there's our performance from Josh Allen and Saquon Barkley, but nothing else is looking too promising for this franchise. I know you got Chase Brown in there as well, but this is probably the least excited I felt for my team. I traded away Jalen Waddle, who's turning out to be a good receiver, traded away my depth in Judkins, and we're left with this kind of looking like a hodgepodge team, really hoping Garrett Wilson comes back. God, I need him, and we really got to make a push here. Yeah, that's it for the quick recap. We'll do a real look at our projections here. I should be projected last place. That's how I feel about my team. I feel so passionate in the worst way about this team. Yeah, it's Tom Hagen just improving a first, and then we've got Team Skiz catapulting up there. RIP D-League catapulting. It's the guys you would have imagined. Somehow Martin's team is still just, they're bouncing back and forth. I don't know how he keeps getting promoted on losses. A lot of shakeups in the middle teams here. A lot of people moving back. That's pretty much our recap, guys. Have a good Thursday. Should be a fun one tonight. And yeah, cheers. Have a good weekend if I don't see you this weekend. Take care.